Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today I want to talk about my thoughts, or early thoughts, on Street Fighter 6. A little bit late to getting to this, but hey, you know, that's just how it goes. So Street Fighter 6, I've been playing Street Fighter games for quite a while. I've never been super good at them, and I thought I'd try and, at some point soon, try and get fairly okay at Street Fighter 6. And I'm slowly trying to improve and whatnot and be able to record some matches and all that good stuff. But the game itself, the game's really fun. The game is genuinely really fun. So, as you probably know by now, it's split into 3 sections. You've got World Tour, which is a big single player mode. You play as an avatar. You've got the online battle hub thing where you can go into hubs and do that. And then you've got Fighting Ground, which is like where you can do tutorials, where you can learn about characters, where you can practice combos, where you can play the arcade. And play like ranked and casual matches as well, which you can also do in Battle Hub, but Battle Hub's more of like your avatars to fight in as well. So for me personally, I have looked in each mode, but primarily this is going to be about World Tour and Fighting Ground. Battle Hub is cool, I'm not ready to play a lot of online stuff yet. Let's start with World Tour. Big single player mode that basically has you build an avatar with an insane character creation. You can make some crazy looking things. And you go out into the world and you meet the characters of Street Fighter 6, and you can basically train under them, learn their moves, learn their styles, mix and match stuff, while also playing through a story that involves Final Fight stuff as well as other characters. And you go around and you fight, and the game tries to teach you a lot of stuff. It tries to teach you mechanics of like when to attack people, all this sort of stuff. You can also dress your character up, and they give you buffs. You can do all sorts of things. It's a big, like, open worldy, it's more like sandbox kind of style game. It's fun. It's nothing crazy, but it does let you, like, you know, express yourself. Like, as you meet people, you can teach them. It gives you more lore on the characters, which is really fun. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it that actually, like, is genuinely cool. Like, someone like me who likes, for example, the backstory for Ryu and Ken and like Chun-Li and stuff like that, it's pretty awesome for that. So you get to see more of them in the world and how they interact in the world. And all in all, I'm just having a fun with it. Like, it's nothing too crazy. It's probably the right decision for Capcom. I don't think they need to go down the Mortal Kombat route, and I think this works best for them. Like, having a mode that's just fun and full of, like, this game is full of awesome, like, personality. You got the whole, like, urban style. You got a lot of hip hop music going on. Like, everything kind of blends together really well. They put a lot of time and effort into making this world feel very fun. And it's just a solid game mode, and I think it's going to be good for beginners trying to figure the game out and like to play and whatnot. So there's that. And then there's Fighting Ground, which I was using, or have primarily been doing arcade, so I'm working through the arcades, which gives you more story on each characters, what they're doing now, they're interacting with new and old characters, what's going on with each of them and whatnot, and that's a lot of fun. You actually get some story content, you get some lore for it. It's good for the new characters as well, because you get to express what they're up to. And that's a lot of fun. And apart from, so this arcade's kind of your standard thing. You go through it, you fight a truck at one point. You're practicing blocks against basketballs, and then you're getting like a bunch of fights. And you get in each character has individual dialogue in terms of like what their win quote will say. It'll be related to the person they've just fought, which is good. So that's what I've primarily been doing, but I've also been spending time practicing with Ryu, because he's like the character that I would like to get good with, and I've been practicing in training mode, and I've been practicing his combo trials, and just basically trying to figure the character out. So the 2 easiest characters in the game, I think, are Ryu and Luke. I could be wrong, but I'm a big fan of Ryu. I always have been. I like what they've added to him here. He's not just the same old dude. He has, you know, Hoshigeki, which is a new move, and he has all his other moves. He's got his Hadouken, his Shoryuken, his Tatsumaki, and also his Donkey Kick, but I can never remember what the name of that one is. But it's cool, because the game, if you go into the character guide, the game will literally say, like, this is how the character's best used. This is when these moves are used for. These are the moves you can combo into. These moves will give you a trip. This move will give you a wall bounce. This is what this happens. And you can also learn, you've got the tutorials to learn about other moves in there, like all the drive rush gauge, the big new gauge that's in the game. How to counter, how to drive rush, how to drive parry, all these different things. And it's also the EX bar, which means if you want to power up your moves, it's also going to take from that bar as well. So there's a ton of stuff there, and it does a really good job of just teaching anybody. Like, if you want to learn to play a character, this game will be, you can go through those lessons multiple times, and it will teach you and teach you and teach you, and it's fantastic. It's a really good tool to learn characters. There's 18 characters in this game at launch, and to be honest, they all play very differently, and they all have new source, we'll call it. They have new things they can do, and that's kind of cool. It's really fun to be able to play these characters and be like, okay, I think I understand this character, and then realize there's like a whole nother level of depth to them, which is really fun. So that's really cool. So, as it's not like, you know, I'm not someone who's played a ton of this game. Like, I am playing and enjoying it. Like, I'm probably not the person to go into depths on other things, but from what I can see, in terms of content that's in the game, in terms of how the game plays, how the game looks, the game's got a fantastic art style. It's awesome. Like, all in all, everything's really awesome. My one gripe with this game, really, is it has microtransactions, and, you know, like, so you've got two currencies. You've got your in-game currency, and you've got your currency that you can use with real money. As of right now, you can't spend it on anything that will break the game. Anything you buy is always cosmetics, colors, skins, things like that. Avatar poses, all that sort of stuff. Now, the alternate skins for each character you unlock by doing the single player mode. It's just quite long-winded, which I'm like, okay, so the time skips, basically. But you can still get them in-game. I plan on getting them in-game. Like, I'm actually going to put the effort in and get them, because, like, I'm not going to pay for that if I can get them in-game. Seems to be a common thing with fighting games. But I don't like the fact they're there. I really don't like the fact there's microtransactions in the game. They've just also released a season pass. So there's now a season pass in the game. And it's, I don't know. I don't know how good or bad it is. I don't know how long it's going to last. But it's like the usual thing. You got your free tier and you got the paid tier. And the paid tier has all the better stuff in it. Like music, tracks, and all this other stuff. It's just, it's scummy. I don't like it. Does it affect the game itself? Not really. You can ignore it and be totally fine, but I still don't like it being there, and it definitely is just like, it's not cool. I wish none of that stuff was there, but it's not forced in your face. Like, you have the notifications page, but as soon as you get off that, you're not going to see any of this stuff. So that's good. So my thoughts overall is I'm liking Street Fighter 6. I'm hoping I will put enough time in it to get okay online. Like, I'd like to be able to do some matches of me playing, but I need a better controller, I think. Because of right now, I'm struggling with the Xbox, like, third-party controller I'm using. I need something with a better D-pad, which is what I'm going to buy, so that I can play more Street Fighter and hopefully be better. And I need to teach myself to be better with Ryu. Like, I'm at a level, but I do need to get better. So yeah, there's my sort of thoughts on the game. Again, I'm not an expert. Like, when it comes to the online, apparently that works really well as well. Like, I'm just, as somebody who's a casual fan, has always been a casual fan, there's a lot to like here. There's a big story, single-player story content. There's a ton of fun things to do. Like, honestly, this game is just a really good package. And now that there's this and Mortal Kombat later this year, this is a good game, hopefully a good year for fighting games. So we'll see what comes of it. But all in all, I think this is worth playing. This is worth picking up. This will be a lot of fun if you've got friends to play with, because it's a very easy game to get into. But it's a massive pool of depth, so it's definitely worth it. And hopefully, you know, you can see whatever footage I use on the screen for this video, you can probably see how bad I am, so it's all good. But the good thing with these games is if you're willing to put the time in, you will get better, and I like that about the single players. It teaches you when to use things, when to attack people at certain times, all this sort of stuff. You basically have all the tutorials in the game you could ever need to learn, which is awesome. Anyway, that's going to do it for me today. That's my early thoughts on Street Fighter 6. Hopefully that's useful to some people. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more content, then hit subscribe. Links for Facebook and Twitter will be down below in the description as always. And until next video, I will see you then.